All right, friends, which one of these piles are we going to start working on today? Well, none of that. We're gonna check this out, give them a coat of paint again. In that one video, one of these got lost, or I said it got lost. It didn't get lost by me. So I went and got another one, drilled the holes and torched out the little notches, only because it's easier to get the pin in and out, I discovered, if you have the notch. Originally this trailer just had 2 flat pieces, and that was not very nice because they would bend all the time. Also, I can't find any gloss black paint here that works, so gray it is, and that's what we're doing. But anyway, that part's done. Today's not the day for you yet, my friend, but it's coming. We want to get back to a project that we started some time back because I got parts in the mail. So that's what we'll do right after this. All right, welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ralph the Oliver Man. This here is the little Jubilee Ford, which consequently was my first tractor. It belonged to my great-grandpa. However, it is the great-grandpa, not the same one that had the John Deere B. The John Deere B was Grandpa's dad, and this belonged to Grandma's dad. So, anyway, I ended up with everything. Most of the tractors my relatives had, I still have, which is kind of neat. But in the previous episode, we gutted this to see, you know, what the possibilities might be here. Whether this was salvageable or whether it was totally scrap iron and we needed to start over. And we decided that I think we can salvage it. I ordered pieces, which have since arrived. So we're going to take that apart, or take the box open, and we're going to see what we got. And then probably what I will do is I think if I just do 4 more bolts, I can take this whole thing off of the tractor and we can work on it on like a vise or the bench or whatever. But before that even takes place, the big hurdle is going to be this. I don't know if I can do this in a nice fashion, but this is obviously seized up in here where it should just come out, and it is not doing that thing. So we're going to have to make it do that thing, because that's step 1 of disassembling this to be able to start putting stuff back together. I am thinking, well, that's the dangerous part, when I am thinking, but down in there is a race for a bearing that really, the new one's in the box, but I don't know. It may be that we can just use the old one. We could probably even use the old bearing on that end, because it is so, you know, it's been running in oil. But I'd rather put everything in new. We'll decide that in a minute. Let's get the box open and make sure that everything came the way we wanted it to. Well, here's the reason we had to have a humongous box. A brand new steering wheel. I think I'll leave the wrapper on right now. That was not an easy thing to bring myself to do, as I said before. You know, all your relatives held on to the other steering wheel, so it's kind of hard to just throw that away. But wherever I laid the steering wheel, it obviously was garbage. I can't, where did I put it? Here. Yeah, it was pretty well timed. I know that guys can, like, I could take probably body filler and try to remake that, but I don't know. It's time to make new memories, I suppose. Well, there's the part that's important, the bill. See how much they charged me for this box. I guess this doesn't tell me that. This just tells me the packing stuff. So, is that it? Everything else is in this little tiny box? I guess that would be right. Mixed parts? That sounds better than mixed nuts. Can I do this in a nice way? Probably not. If only I had a knife instead of just never carrying a knife with me. Aha. Magic, friends, magic. We have the ABC 528. I don't remember what any of their part numbers mean. Okay, that's the top end seal / spring, which if you look at this one, you can kind of see that the spring has become a ball of rust. So, yeah, that's the end of that job. We have 2 bearings with 2 races. That's 2 bearings with 2 races, not mixed races. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Just 2 bearings and races. We have the grommet that goes against the sheet metal when we're done. Steering wheel and the heavy nut, the steering wheel nut and the heavy washer that go against it. And then here are our 2 rebuild seal / everything kits, adjusters, lock nuts, felt seals. There should there not be a regular seal in there? I guess it is in there, it's just not in a box. Okay, they're in there. I thought I ordered a couple extra seals, but I might be dreaming that. Let's look at the old packing. It says steering wheel seal kit 2, top bearing, steering wheel, washer, nut, grommet, steering shaft bearing kit. So 2 bearing, no. That may, oh, I see it. What? Okay, the bearing kit had 2 bearings. Column grommet, nut, washer, steering wheel, top shaft kit, and 2 of the selector hardware kits. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm supposing I'm going to take this over to the service truck because I'm figuring that heat will need to be applied in order to make this become not one. I don't know about that for sure, but I'm thinking if it don't come loose with a few taps of the magic Ozzer here, then we probably need to gently heat / cut some of that spring nonsense out of there to get it to go. I don't know. All right, pardon my very clean workbench, but well, there we got the spring to pop loose. We also, I think, did we destroy that bottom bearing? Did it lose a barrel or 2? Or what was that just hit my foot? That would be the, no? Okay, I don't know what that was. If you don't like my mess, then just close your eyes for this part. And it'll be like radio. There, the whatchamacallit came off. Now that it's all dirty, there's the little retainer thing that holds that in. We'll set that somewhere dangerous. I did not get a new one of those, so probably have to reuse that one. Boy, that is a mess. I want to get that out of there so you can see that. Okay, now the mistake that was made is I tightened that on there too tight, probably. It won't come out. I never know what you can see and can't see. Take the nut and the spring off. And then, come on out of there. Oh, that's what fell. It was the barrels from the upper bearing. Gotcha. I understand now. Okay, we need to put something nice on. ADD's kicking in here. I'm getting too distracted by stuff. I need to lay something across these threads and then hammer them home. But what will that thing be? I'd really like to just full send it with this, but I don't think that'll go through there. Will it? Or will it let me thread it out now? Sweet. Okay. Let's examine our work here. So here's our hollow tube with our remnant of our seal in the top. We're going to have to get that out of there. In preparation for later, there's a race that's very wore from no lubrication. And check out this feller. She has been well used. So, I'm thinking where we're going here is we're cleaning up this shaft real good, and then we're going to test fit some bearings. Someone told me that this was like very precision matched, and you weren't going to be you know, using new bearings on it, but I don't know. But I want you to appreciate the fact that now here it is. This is all that's left. The way this bearing's made is not like a regular taper rollered bearing, if you understand that. The little barrels roll up against this surface. I'm going to clean this up and get those two new bearings, and then we'll play with it and see what we think. All right, let's have a look-see at this. Looks good enough. You can see how the barrels are just kind of hanging out in the open instead of having an inner piece like the... Oh, I think that's a good fit. I'm wondering if a guy should pack it with grease, and then when he puts the oil in later, it can splash up there and wash the grease off. Don't know. I'm sold on that idea. What else do we need to do? Well, I'm going to put this old nut back on here right quick just to protect those so that doesn't get messed up. So, can we get the remains of this off of here? Well, we probably could if we brought the right tool, which is an 11/16. I should have known better. All right, you. Have you finally met your match? No? Choke rod right in the way. That makes this real handy. Yep. I was thinking I could peer pressure it out of the way. I was also hoping I could do it without having to take that wire loose, but also, I'm not sure what's under here. If it's an open hole, I bet it probably is. Why wouldn't it be? So maybe I need to do a little bit of better cleanup work here first before we do such a thing, because I don't want a whole bunch of pieces down in the transmission, you know? I don't know. I wouldn't think it was in the transmission as much as it might be in like the clutch housing. So, torque tube area, I guess you'd say, if this was a tractor built like that. I like how I talk about it and then never do it, you know, like cleaning. I'm going to stop what I'm doing and go get the appropriate thing now. Come on. Oh, you. This hasn't been off of here in 50 years, I can tell you that. On. Now, oh yes, it came loose. Oh, wah, wah. There's more bolts. Looks like I got two 3/8 bolts. It could be 5/16 bolts. Holding the battery tray. So I guess I'll go get something to take that loose. I bet they're two different sizes. That one could even be bigger yet. So I better bring a collection of things. No. Okay, I was right on that one. 3/8. And this. Consequently, that's where my battery cable is. I wonder if this is really a 7/16 bolt or whether this is a 3/8 bolt that has a 5/8 head because of strange things. Be interesting to see that they would put two different sizes. Yes, come on. All right. Okay, what do we think? Open hole? Open hole. That's what it is. Open hole into the housing where the clutch is, but also this, if you had the Sherman transmission, it would be in that hole, which I've always wanted to put one of those on here and just never got that done. So maybe one of these days that will happen. Here's a convenient piece of plastic I never picked up from something else. So I think I'm just gonna kind of do this number here. Maybe keep some of the stuff from blowing in there. And yeah, then we got our entire steering box out here on the tire. So we can take it over and clean it up. I wonder if a guy should run some of this through that ultrasonic cleaner. I don't know what that would really gain me though. Some of this, I can pretty well get to everything on this though, that I could clean it with wire wheel. So that's probably what I'll do. I just have to remember where the wire wheel is. I think it's in the house, so yeah. Anyway, we will get to work on that, and well, for you it's going to be instantly, but for me, I got something else I got to do real quick. So yeah, I'll bring you back in just a second. All right, friends, so we got this mostly cleaned up. I ran some of the pieces through the ultrasonic cleaner. You can actually see on this one the lines of where it would fit in there. I did both ends of it and got most of it. We're down to getting this race out of here, which I did not have much success at. So I got a long rod, which I'm sure everybody knew, but no, I got this long deal here to use as a punch, and I'm going to try to use it to do, for one, get the seal out of this end, and also the race. Yeah, it's morning and my brain isn't working yet, so we just got to do it. If what I say doesn't make sense, it will. So we can see the progress I've made here so far. A few more licks and I think that'll come out. I'd like to do that on camera so you could see it, but there. Look at that mess. I did not know that that had steel balls in it. Who would have thought? So my next thing then is, should a guy magnetic tray. try to organize some of these parts, because I don't want stuff laying all over. So that being done, now it's time to tackle getting this out of here. And I'm hoping it just pops right out, but we all know how that's gonna go. I don't think I even... Let me try. Get behind it. This may end up being one of those where I gotta do that welding trick and try to weld to it, because they did not give you a cutout like they do on wheel bearings. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to get it by just driving on it. Alright, we ain't getting nowhere with this, so what I'm going to do on that is just weld to it. They always said if you put a bead of weld on a race, it would just fall right out. So I guess that's what I'll do. Then I'll bring you back. I've kind of made a... I know you're not going to like that decision, but I'm going to leave the bottom race alone in the steering box. I checked it out. It looks good. It's been running in oil the whole time. The new bearing fits in it good. And I feel like I don't really want to disturb. There's like a freeze plug under there, and there's not good access under here. So I would just say let's not mess with that. It's good enough. Alright, well, it didn't fall right out, but a few more taps after welding and it came out. But what I'm disappointed at is somehow in this process I smushed this tube. I just rounded it out a little more, but I don't remember what I did to do that. I never hammered it on the table or anything. I was just, yeah, I don't know what I did. So hopefully that doesn't mess with our seal. We can try to make that a little bit better, but somehow I did something wrong. Alright, so first order of business there is putting a race back in here. Okay. Greasy hole. Trying to decide what would be the best process for doing this. And I think it's going to be easier to go start with this steering shaft and work my way backwards as far as keeping everything lined up. So that's what my plan is, if it doesn't make sense. This has to have this little retainer thing on here. Yeah. I don't know about you. Let's see here. I'm thinking about what I'm doing, and that's dangerous. I need to put one of the bearings on the shaft before we even start. That's gotta go down there. And if I was a smart man, Jenny, which I'm not, I would just lube the crap out of it. So I also need to deal with this seal in here first. And I think I'm going to have to do that, even though it's not making sense to you because I don't hardly have you on the frame. But slide that back. I need to put that seal in up here because I don't think I can do it with this rod in there. I think that that's going to bite me eventually. And I'm not really sure how all this goes, to be quite honest with you. I guess that I guess it goes in just like that. I might want to Google this because the old one was missing enough stuff, and I don't Never having done that. Maybe once before in my life. I don't remember. Okay, I swear I'm not that stupid, but it seems like I am. So this is the way this is going to go. We got to get that bolted down, and then we can start doing our sector gears themselves. Uh-oh. There's trouble in paradise, friends. This ain't working. Why ain't it working? Oh, there were shims in there, weren't there? I remember that now. I forgot about those shims. And you definitely need them. Because it's way too tight like that. Hopefully I didn't destroy something. Yeah. Okay. So I gotta go try to find that stack of shims outside. And then we can put this down. Hopefully. All right. Now, we'll put these on. And immediately make a destructive mess. I had them so neatly stacked. And now that's gone. Okay. Let's be smarter about this. Slightly. All right. Now. Oh, don't go. Get off of there. You. Let's get those started so it doesn't jump all around. Now that looks more better. I could see daylight through it a while ago, and it was all the way down. So I knew we were not in the right neighborhood, as Mr. Rogers would say. That seems like a too much amount of play, but we're not at all tight. So let's tighten her up now and see what we get. I hope I'm still okay up there. Or not, you know, or not. We did all that for nothing. Come on. Alright, let's... Oh, I think that's going to be good. The vertex out. We still don't have them all tight, but... Oh, you know what else I did? Put it on backwards again. Dang it! I swear, I'm not that stupid. Although it doesn't look like that. It looks the opposite every day. I'm in a hurry all the time. That's the problem. Got somewhere I gotta go again after a while. And that is really cutting into my thought process here. Come on. I wanted to try to save the shims. So I don't. Oh, mama. There we go. Now maybe we're hopefully the final time of doing this part of the job. we still? No, we're not. We're not okay. We may be tabling this, friends, because I'm betting I'm going to be ordering more shims. Unless I just shoot. I mean, it would make sense that with having new everything, we're going to need more shims because the bearings are new. But I don't think it's going to work like this. Because when I tighten her down, I think my steering's too tight. Let's get a wrench. I didn't bring the steering wheel either. I should have brought that in so I could see, you know, what it actually feels like. I'm afraid this ain't gonna work. See, there I felt it get tight. It ain't gonna work. Oh yeah, it's locked. Okay, well, let's loosen this and table this part of it. And I think we can go ahead and rebuild the rest of it. And we will get shims and that later. Not what I wanted to do. But yeah, it's going to take another good stack of them to get that back where it is in the appropriate amount. Although this is bad because I thought on the last time we couldn't get that pulled out with the sector gear in, so we may be done right now. I guess we could do the back one for sure, and then we could have the other one ready to go. But yeah, that's really crap. I mean, I'm gonna have to order more shims. I've got one more that's mangled, but that's not gonna be enough to fix my problem, so I'll have to acquire more of those. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. That helps out the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment. Tell me that you liked it or tell me that you hated it. Tell me I'm a moron. I really don't care, but anything that you say helps us out too. So thank you again, as always, for watching, and I will see you in the next one.